Well, hello there, and good morning, all of my friends and family on the interweb. Good to see you on this beautiful Thursday morning. I hope you are blessed, walking in the favor of God. A lot of answers to prayers that are happening, a lot of miraculous ways that God is moving, and I'm so excited about this Savior that I serve because He has such great plans for us. So I want you to continue to follow after Him and walk after Him. Good morning, Sharon. Glad you're on here. I hope if you get a chance to go outside today, you take that chance because it is gorgeous out here. A little bit of a chill in the air, but the skies are blue, the sun is out, and it's just wonderful. But I want to remind you this morning about the importance of running with patience. The Apostle Paul tells us in Hebrews chapter 12, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." We all know that we're in a race. We're all in this race. We're all participants. We're all runners, if you will, or walkers in this race. And it's important that we finish this race well. And the Apostle Paul said to the church, he said, run with patience. Patience is not always an easy thing, is it? There are people in our life that kind of foster that patience within us, and they are patient, so we've learned how to be patient. But then there are other people in our lives who try our patience every single day. You know who you are. I'm just kidding. But I think it's important for us to understand this principle of patience because God has been patient with us. He has been forbearing. He has been loving. He has been forgiving. And you know, patience is not always about how you deal with other people. Sometimes it's about how you deal with yourself. Many times in our lives, we are most impatient with ourselves. We think we should be growing faster. We think we should be doing more. We think we should be further along in life. We think we should be more successful or more beautiful or more whatever. And we have little patience for ourselves. And so if and when we do mess up, we get angry at ourselves. We get angry and hateful towards ourselves sometimes. And I've been there. I've been guilty of it. I've fallen into that trap where I've been very impatient with my growth, with my ministry, with my family, with the way things were going in my life, with my walk with God. I've been very impatient and wanted to run ahead and do what I wanted to do and make things happen and get things done. And sometimes God is saying, slow down, have patience. Just wait for it. Just wait for me to move. Because if we move out ahead of God, we're going to mess it up. Running with patience is not always an easy thing. One thing that I have learned is that when you're running a race, you have to pace yourself. There have been so many times in my life that I have entered a race and I'm standing at the start line and I'm surrounded by all of these young kids, these young men and women in their 20s and 30s, and they're rip-roaring ready to go. And I can't tell you how many times they've taken off in a flash and I've taken off in a flash to try to keep up with them, to try to do what they're doing, to try to run with their strength, to try to run at their pace. And about a mile in, I hit a wall. And I have to slow down and sometimes even walk because I started out too fast. I didn't have patience with my own journey, with my own race. And I tried to keep up with everybody else, and I tried to do what everybody else was doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. God has set you in this race. He has put you in the place you are for a purpose and for a reason. Things may not be moving as fast as you think they should move. Things may not be evolving or going as quickly as you think they should. But I want to tell you something. In God's time, He brings all things to pass. If we're in this race and we've set our pace and we're enduring, we will make it until the end. I want to tell you a little story about a race. Not too long ago, I did this virtual 5K race with some friends, and And in the course of this race, there were a couple of the people who were in this race that started fast, and they took off like a lightning bolt. And I decided I wasn't going to do that this time, and I was going to hang back and run at a slower pace with some other folks. And as the race went on, I found that at about 1.25 miles, I passed one of those guys who took off so fast. And then about 1.5 miles, I passed the other guy who took off so fast. And it wasn't because I was the fastest. It wasn't because I was the strongest. It wasn't because I was the youngest or the more motivated. It was simply that I paced myself. And in pacing myself and having patience with the race, I ended up coming in first. And that's not to say I'm some great runner or great racer. It's simply we all have to learn lessons about running with patience, waiting on God, not running ahead of God, not lagging behind God, but running with patience. And the Apostle Paul, at the end of his life, he made this comment. He said, I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith. I have finished my race. And now there is laid up for me a crown of glory. I want to just encourage you today. Run with patience in your walk with God today. Run with patience. Run well and finish your course well. And you will hear him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. I love you today, praying for you. May God bless you as you run this race. Take care.